you inside the Gene Policini Center, home of the Tigers, where a new season of RIT women's hockey is now just a few days away. Good afternoon and welcome to Hockey Media Day here on the RIT Sports Network. Well, since taking over as head coach of her alma mater 6 years ago, Celeste Brown has followed a simple mantra in an effort to rebuild the Tigers program. Knowing it wouldn't happen overnight, Brown has done it her way, brick by brick. And over the last few years, we've seen steady improvement on the ice. Last season, the Tigers won 16 games, the most of any team during Brown's tenure. RIT finished fourth in the conference, defeating Lindenwood in the AHA quarterfinals here on home ice before being swept by eventual champion Penn State in the semis for a second straight year. Happy to be joined, as always, by the Bruce B. Bates, women's hockey coach here at RIT, Celeste Brown. Celeste, entering your sixth season already, hard to believe, but from looking back from what you inherited here when you first came and what you've been able to build so far, what are you most proud of?
Yeah, Kevin, thanks for having me, and we are super excited for our next season to start. And, it has been quite a journey, but what we're most proud of as a staff is really our players, right? That journey was difficult at the beginning, and the resilience, the grit that they had through that was the foundation to where we are today. And then, I know you're talking to some of our players today, but their youthfulness and their attitudes and their want and their will has really propelled us to where we ended last year and the mission we're on, going forward.
Yeah, more wins. You mentioned more consistent play. You returned 5 of your top 7 scorers from a year ago, which is huge. What are your expectations for this season's group?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as always, right? Yeah. Brick by brick. I think, our room controls like our goals and where we want to get to, and we have goals, and we expect to compete for the AHA championship at the end of the season, and that's a process. So it starts first with like our first games versus post, yep, and taking care of business there, and then getting better every single day, and that's really where we are. Is like, hey, those goals are there, but ultimately it's how we execute the day-to-day.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the returners in just a bit, but you also have 10 newcomers, 5 forwards, 4 defensemen, a goaltender come in as part of the new class. How quickly can this new group of newcomers step in and contribute?
Yeah, we're really excited about our new group, and our returners have done an unbelievable job welcoming them in and teaching them, yeah, the Tiger way. And I think that's owed to their leadership, but we expect that those 10 players will step in and contribute immediately. It's been fun to watch in the small amount of practice that we've had. The different things they add to our game is new. It's, yeah, things we haven't always had, and it makes us a little bit deeper, which is exciting too. So just really can't wait for the puck drop, and then ultimately it's actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, you talk about your depth, and earlier this month the Tiger captains were announced. Senior Jaden Farney and junior Emma Pickering will each wear the C this season, while Linda Rula, Lexi Song, Addie Alvarez were all named alternate captains. Pickering coming off a stellar sophomore campaign that saw the defenseman finish 5th on the team in scoring with 11 goals on 11 assists. Of course, Pickering was named to the All-AHA preseason team as a defenseman and received a vote for preseason player of the year as well. Emma earning accolades, certainly deserving. Coach, what makes her one of the best in this league, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we have a lot of great players, yeah, and our captains, I think the group we're really excited about, so I don't want to forget about them. But the way Emma shows up every day is what allows her to do what she does on the ice. I think ultimately, too, having teammates around her that support her and, are able to help her propel her game. It's ultimately a game or a team sport, so, yeah, you need people around you. And I think we saw that from Emma's first year to second year. Even some of our other players like Addie from her first year to her second year, as our roster improves and we get better and better, it helps everyone. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, especially that group of captains coming back. What makes those players good leaders and deserving of the C or the A in that room?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with them earning their trust of their teammates. That's, yep, where it really, started, and it was fun to see them in the spring really grow and really start to establish their voices, right? We want to make sure that they all support each other too, and I think that's what's unique about the group of 5. They're all a little bit different, which is pretty cool in that they balance each other. They have different personalities, they have different approaches, but they're all everydayers. They show up, they strive for excellence, and that's who you want leading your group forward, is players like that who again, like the younger group can look at and model their actions after.
Yeah, we're going to talk to one of those leaders. Addie Alvarez played a career-high 36 games last season, led RIT with a career-high 32 points on 6 goals and 26 assists. The junior forward from Greece, New York, right here in Rochester, joins us live now on Hockey Media Day. First off, Addie, what does it mean for you to be able to wear the A for this hometown program of yours?
It's definitely an honor just being able to be one of the people who lead this team. I'm excited to do that. Obviously, we have a lot of freshmen, and it's going to take all 5 of us to help lead those kids, and I'm just excited.
Personally, you've been continuing to grow in your game, and how can you build on the success you've had the last 2 seasons going into your junior campaign?
I just think coming in every day, like doing what we have to do, going above and beyond, and really doing everything with a purpose. Just doing that every day is gonna help build new skills and all that stuff.
You mentioned trying to get everybody on the same page, always difficult when you have a lot of new faces coming in. But what would you say, I know it's early, but what makes this year's team dangerous, would you say?
There's a lot of new freshmen, and I think all those freshmen bring really cool skills to the team. Obviously, when generations go on, there's new skills that are developed in the hockey world. So I think they're solid kids, and they have the skills to be ready for the college games, and they're ready to compete.
Well, it's been 11 years since this program last won a conference title. Coach Brown was on that team. They advanced to the NCAA tournament back in 2015. What's one thing that, has to happen for this group to get back there, to contend for a title in the AHA, which Coach Brown mentions is one of her expectations this year?
I just think everyone has to buy into the process and trust everybody on the team, trust the coaches. Everybody knows we all have the common goal, and we all want to do the same thing. So I just think trust each other, trust the process, come in every day, and just work for that.
Well, we certainly appreciate your time here today. Best of luck against Post and certainly all season long in Atlantic Hockey America, Addie.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. We discussed the strengths of this team so far here today on Hockey Media Day, from the newcomers to your returning forwards and blue liners, but you're also really strong in the net too as well. As we take a look, senior Sofia Belina returns for her senior season after a quiet junior campaign. Belina played in just 9 games a year ago, going 4-3-2 on the year with a 2.41 goals against, making that great save right there against Penn State a couple of years ago. Of course, Sofia had such a solid sophomore season when she made those saves, when she finished second in the league in goals against and save percentage. And Coach, do you expect her to return to form this season and kind of lead your goaltenders maybe as a number 1 this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we've seen Sofia show up in the net and have dominant performances. And so, it's been fun to sort of work with her in the spring last year and sort of see where she wants to go for the upcoming, final season here at RIT. And, I think she's more motivated than ever, and we know the kid can play. So it's a matter of showing up inside the posts and executing. I think the fun thing about Sofia too is, a couple seasons ago, she had to carry us in moments. And I think there's more dynamic players in front of her that, again, will allow her to be a little bit more comfortable and relaxed, where I think all goalies feel that pressure.
Sure.
But, hopefully she can be loose and just play her game.
Yeah, and she's shown she can handle the pressure. I believe in that game in the video we showed, she was over 40 saves, maybe 44 if my memory serves me correctly. But looking at the rest of the group, you have Brenna McNamara, only saw 4 games of action a year ago, and a newcomer coming in as well, as we mentioned earlier. How can they maybe help this team as well?
Yeah, Brenna, we threw her in for a Cornell game, which was a Frozen 4 team, and I think she did a great job, and Brenna is going to see some games this year, and I think modeling after the 2 older goalies that came before her, so Sarah and Sofia, and again, excited to see what she can offer too. And I think that relationship back there is important, that they push each other, a little bit different styles of play, both of them. And again, it's we want to have the strongest goaltending in our net possible. We all know that this game is really fun because of goaltenders and what they can do. So it'll be fun to watch those two show up every day. And ultimately, like, we're looking for a goaltender to just take that net and own that net.
Yeah, RIT's had some good ones over the years. We look back at Sarah Coe, just graduating last year, Ellie Bennington back in the day. So certainly some great goaltending throughout this women's hockey program. Hey, Atlantic Hockey America on the women's side has grown. If you didn't know, Delaware has been added in the mix this season. Not surprising, but the Blue Hens have been picked to finish last in the coaches' preseason poll as they embark on their first season at this level. Penn State, the three-time defending tournament champs, have been voted as the team to beat once again, followed by Mercyhurst, and look right there, RIT. Coach, how close is this program? We talked a little bit about it earlier, but are you that far away from Penn State and Mercyhurst, or have you closed that gap over these last few years?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've closed gaps for sure. You started off brick by brick, and that's what it is, right? And we're in a little bit of a space this year where we got to teach 10 new players what's going on the ice a little bit. But again, that skill, that IQ, that skating ability, that raw talent is there, which is really exciting. Ultimately, I think it comes down to like every game competing, and that's what this league has always been, right? Even 10 years ago, we're like, hey, who's going to show up and win these games? And what our group has learned over the last couple years is how important each one of those league games is and how that can impact your season towards the end of the year. And so they're more motivated than ever. So I think that gap has gotten smaller, and it's a product of who's going to show up that day. And it takes everyone to show up.
And we all remember having the quarterfinal game here last year and how special that was.
Totally.
But you'd certainly love to have the semis, maybe even the finals here sooner rather than later, I would imagine.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, the arena was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's our fans are the best fans in the land. Our band is the best band in the land. And so, we want more of those here. And it was really special. And it, I know our season didn't end how we wanted it last year, but those seniors earned that, and I think that's a credit to all the hard work they put in. And so, not looking past that, but I think our group now has that in the back of their brains too, as they want to make them proud as we continue to push this program forward.
And quickly, I mentioned Delaware joining the conference this year. That gets you guys to 7 on the women's side. Do you expect another program to be added to get to 8? Would you prefer to have 8 moving forward?
I think Delaware is a great addition, and Allison Kumi there, I worked with her for a few years, and that was really special, and she's a great coach. Yeah. And so far, she's done a great job. I think they're going to be a competitive team this year, and, we're definitely not looking past them. I think growth in women's hockey is always important, right? But also, in my opinion, like, growing that appropriately and making sure that our programs are funded how they should be is an important piece to that puzzle. And so Delaware is doing that and committed to doing that. And if we find another school that's committed to doing that, we would welcome them.
Yeah, and we all know, this program went from a Division III national championship and was competitive those early years at Division I. So it can happen, and we certainly know here at RIT. Well, the season kicks off this Friday and Saturday here at home for the RIT women's hockey program against Post, followed by back-to-back road series at Northeastern and Robert Morris, a conference game. Coach, you'll host St. Lawrence to kick off Brick City weekend on October 16th and 17th. That's a Thursday and Friday, followed by a home-and-home series with Syracuse and a home series against Lindenwood, who you beat in the AHA quarters last year. For the complete schedule, head to RITathletics.com or check it out on the RIT Athletics app. Of course, you can catch the Tigers all season long on Flow Hockey. Another challenging schedule for you. You never shy away from playing those tough non-conference opponents in addition to your conference schedule. 4 of those teams on your schedule nationally ranked a year ago, 3 of them in the national tournament in St. Lawrence, Colgate, and Penn State, who's in your conference. Your thoughts on another daunting test?
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Kevin. We've never backed down from it. Yeah. And we expect our program to continue to grow and be one of the best in the country. And in order to do that, you have to play the teams that are currently there. And, last year we had some good success out of conference.
Yeah, beat Colgate.
Yep, and it's fun to go play those teams, and I think it's also important where, as our league plays out, and our goal is to win this league, we're going to be competing in the tournament versus teams, and definitely not shied away. We're looking forward to playing Northeastern. We haven't played them in a while. I think it might be well over 10 years, and so headed out to the Boston area, and again, it'll be fun to have some of those ECAC teams back in the schedule.
And it'll be the last year, I believe, at Northeastern at Matthews Arena. The old barn will be going away as they get a new arena like so many schools, and we were fortunate to get ours over 10 years ago. Well, those watching at home can be part of the action of women's hockey. Grab your season seats or individual game tickets for RIT women's hockey right now by visiting or calling the Policini Center box office at 585-475-4121 or online at rittickets.com. If you're heading out to the arena, remember there is a new clear bag policy. If you're heading out to the Policini Center, you can have more information on that at rittathletics.com. Celeste, another season here. Best of luck to you and the Tigers this season and certainly this weekend against Post.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. And to all our fans, we can't wait to see you guys, and we plan on providing you another great season.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. That'll do it for us. We thank you for watching Hockey Media Day here on the RIT Sports Network.